How I and the city of Northport, Florida are preparing for Hurricane Idalia, otherwise known as an extremely dangerous hurricane. This was almost the epicenter of Hurricane Ian less than a year ago. So I'm in flood zone designation D Delta, and those in designation A Alpha have been ordered to evacuate. That would be along the coast, but I'm inland, although waterfront. The city of Northport has been lowering the waterway that I live on really well, so the water level is down. They have at my spillway they have one gate open, but upstream they have other gates that are open, and so they're getting ready for extreme rain. Now during Hurricane Ian, the water only came up halfway to my bank, and so I don't think this is ever going to flood, at least in my lifetime. You can see my little private island now is exposed due to the low water level. So the water's flowing pretty good there. I have two boats. Both of them are tied down with some of these ratchet things. Well, that's not really a ratchet, but straps. This one's not tied down very well, and the wind is projected to come from south, so that would be hitting the aerodynamic side of the boat, so it should be okay. And the other boat here has a hurricane grade tie down situation going on there. I still have unrepaired soffit damage from Hurricane Ian almost a year ago. The garage door is significantly reinforced from the inside. This is a small motorhome that's fully self-contained with 60 gallons of water, and it's self-sufficient. I can charge the battery by driving around or idling, and can take a shower, cook, do everything in there. Has a mini split air conditioner, so I'm not going to get too hot. The house also has a new mini split air conditioner as a supplement to the central air conditioner system, which is new here. But I'm starting to install more mini split systems to bypass the central. Mini split is important because it can run off of the generator, of which I do have about $150 worth of ethanol free gas. It's about 25 gallons. The lawnmower's full of gas because it could be used as an emergency vehicle to go to the grocery store should my motorhome be disabled for whatever reason. Here's the garage door reinforcement, so even if a vehicle slams into this garage door, it won't be breached. I have a hurricane grade door here with 4-inch long reinforced bolts holding it at the hinges, as well as here, and it opens outwardly, so if the wind pressure hits here, it won't break it in. The front door opens inwardly, which is not good, but I did reinforce it. There, the 4-inch bolts, screws I mean, and then another reinforced bracket here. My totes are here because the city had no service today. All the windows have storm shutters, as well as the two sliding glass doors are protected with storm shutters. These are polycarbonate. I built and installed those. I had to get a city permit to do that. Surprisingly, they didn't even look at it, they just approved it. So I feel a lot more, I would not live in Florida without a small motorhome for evacuating or living in case of emergency. I have new roof shingles that are rated for indefinite wind speed, but generally about 160 mile per hour winds is what that roof is designed to handle. It went through Hurricane Ian with a couple of ridge shingles blew off because at Hurricane Ian the wind speeds here were estimated to be around 150 miles per hour at Category 5. The house is made out of concrete, so it would take a significant Category 5 or 6 with sustained many hours of torment to do structural damage, but it is possible. It's just very unlikely. The generator plugs in outside here, 30 amps. So the mini split air conditioner will use half of this, and I'll probably have it running all the time, which only leaves me 15 amps for other miscellaneous things like lights, whatever. The water heater is 240 volts, and so the generator can run the water heater probably for just a little while before it will either damage it or overwork it. So in an emergency, I could have heated water inside, but more practical would be the motorhome because it has a water heater, and I would use it. It's 120 volts. And so this generator could heat the water up and so I can take showers in the motorhome. I made sure to do my laundry before I lose power. The central air system I use as a boost in case the mini split isn't cooling when the temperature is generally above 90 outside. This will work as a good supplement. It has been working, it has been off today, keeping this side of the house 77, and the mini split is in the master bed room there, air handler, and I have this fan blowing the mini split air into the rest of the home. The mini split outside unit is installed inside the lanai, so it's very well protected from weather. And if I could start over again, I wouldn't mount it there. I'd mount it on the outside wall because of this condensation, and it tends to blow hot air in the lanai a little bit. I'll relocate it someday, but I have this screen in the way that's preventing me from moving it over, but there's no hurry for that. It's working fine there. Before next summer, I'm going to install a second mini split. This one is only a 9,000 BTU. I'm going to put a 12,000 with the outside unit mounted there and the inside mounted in the dining room area on that wall right there. For one person, I don't have a super massive amount of emergency food. The generator will power the stove well enough I can still cook. Also the microwave. The generator will power the computer and the router that's mounted. The router is behind the TV there. My water also runs on 240 volts for the well pump, which the generator can't handle very well. And so the motorhome comes into there and to that for taking showers, using water, and filtration. The motorhome has a filtration system, so I don't have to have water inside. The young dog will be a little scared of the upcoming high winds and lightning. Not as much as she used to be, but she'll still be a little scared. When the lights, when there's a threat to the power with very heavy storm, I will probably turn the thermostat way down to maybe 65 and get it really cold in here. So when I lose power, I don't have to rush to get the generator on for the purpose of cooling. So the cooling isn't just for my comfort, it's to protect the inside of the home from excessive humidity. I think correction with the mini split, I don't think it uses 15 amps. I think it's more like maybe 12. The bedroom storm shutter isn't fully covering the windows, so I can still kind of peek out. In the most extreme emergency, I could hide in the master bed closet to get away from all windows. There are 10 ceiling fans throughout the home to help with cooling. Every room has a ceiling fan. Even the lanai has 2 ceiling fans. The garage has a ceiling fan. I think that may be the 11th ceiling fan. Because I know there are at least 7 rooms in the house, depending on which ones you count as a room. And all of the lighting is LED, so that puts less strain on the generator to continue whole house lighting with the generator. I could be in trouble in the lanai with rain this time. If the hurricane is coming from the south, which that's facing south right there, there will be rain flooding in the lanai here with only 3 inches, 4 or 5 inches up to the door. So the water could be coming in. It's unlikely, but it's possible. If that happens, I don't think it'll be for very long. I've never had that happen. I have had the rain blow in here, but it hasn't stayed. It would just eventually drain out that way. Which, by the way, I think I need to take that storm shutter off the bottom so the rain can drain that way. The solution is I really need a French drain going across all the way out. That's one of my upgrade goals of the future. This mini split is amazing. It's 24 SEER2, which is extremely energy efficient. It's quiet. It's really great. Just that one is capable of cooling the whole house. So when I get that other one installed, even in the summer with record-breaking temperatures of 95 to 100, my electric bill should still be just about $100 a month in the summer to cool the whole house. I have a guest bedroom, 3 of them actually, very nicely set up. If I have neighbors who get in trouble from the storm, they can stay here. I have had that happen during Hurricane Ian. I had people stay here while I was evacuated because this is the strongest built house in the neighborhood. And a lot of my neighbors know it, so they come here. I'm not going to fill any of the tubs with water because of the motorhome has 60 gallons. That should, in an emergency, last several weeks. And if I had to, I mean, if the motorhome has a problem with the water and I run out or whatever, going on the 3rd week or whatever, I can run the water pump outside on the generator and get household water. It'll be stressful on the generator, but I can do it. I've tried it before. It will work. It's just that for a while that's happening, I would have to disconnect everything else from the generator and only power the water pump so I can get water. At the time I'm making this video, I'm right at the fringe of when we either need to evacuate, get our crap together, and be fully prepared with the hurricane shutters up, etc. And so, because it's almost noon Tuesday, and that's when the effects of the hurricane are going to be hitting here pretty hard, pretty soon, probably by tonight. One neighbor over there has quite a lot of junk in their front yard that could very well get blown all over the neighborhood. There's a lot I like about living in Florida, but if I could start all over again, I wouldn't do it. I would pick northern New Mexico, maybe Colorado, Colorado's kind of expensive. Utah, possibly parts of Oregon, maybe even California. But they all have their problems too. The reason I moved to Florida is because, like I said, the motorhome, to escape the bad weather, and also I got this home, so-called, at a low price of only $262,000 back in 2021. But then I bought several lots nearby that added to the cost, and lots of home upgrades. Spent about $200,000 since I've been here, half of that on upgrades. So glad I got that mini split. That's the main thing, other than the motorhome. All right, any other suggestions? What have I missed? Any questions? Feel free to ask, leave comments.